Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. My name is Linda and this is where we take time out of our everyday lives to create new and wonderful things. So we're working in the Brooklyn sketchbook, the art library sketchbook, and I've made quite a few collages, but it's time for me to work on another one because the deadline is coming up. I do need to get my act together and finish this out. So my focal point today are these two guys. And this was one image that I got out of this science fiction magazine. My dad used to get these. I think they were a monthly subscription. So a book would come in once a month and, you know, you'd read it. And I found this illustration and I loved it. And these two were together and they're friends, maybe not friends. I don't know. I didn't read the story to go with it, but I liked these two. So they are going to be my focal point. Oh, and I also have the earth here. So we're going to work with this. I love these two guys. They may or may not get colored. I may leave them in this tan and black, but I'm not sure yet. First things first is we need a background. And so I'm going to use this tissue paper. And I recently got some jeans from ThredUp, which I love that. If you guys have ever used ThredUp, they're fabulous. Anyway, used clothes, great prices, not sponsored, but I do love them. Anyway, well, it comes with this wonderful tissue paper and it's pretty bright on this side. It's a bright teal and I don't think that's going to work. So it's a little too bright. So I'm going to flip it over and use the duller side or the back side, the wrong side. Let me put something in between. So I will link up in the iCard the playlist for this series. That way you can see all of the collages that I've done for the series. First things first, I want to protect the other pages, but it's not perfect. Usually some paint or Mod Podge or something leaks over, but that's okay. All right, so I just have a brush and I'm just going to take the tissue paper. This is pretty standard, like I've done on all of them because I've used book pages and just whatever. Anyway, so just rip it up, the tissue paper, kind of get an idea of what you're doing. I have matte Mod Podge. Any gel medium would work. You want a lighter one. You don't want like a heavy gel medium, but Mod Podge always works. And we're just going to spread it on and put down tissue paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then when I'm done, I will be right back. So that's all done. I know I have some extra hanging off, but at the very end I will trim those, which isn't a big deal. Let me blast this with my heat tool, and then we're going to put a little paint on the background. Yeah, we're going to see if it goes back to dull a little bit, but that's okay. If it stays bright, we're going to put a little paint on it and it'll work out just fine. All right, all dry. So I'm using my Arteza acrylic, and these are the metallic ones. I will link it down below, and I will put in the iCard my review. Spoiler alert, I do love these. I do enjoy them, and they work great, especially for the journals. I'm not sure if I want to use gray because this is kind of a tan color, so I know these are too bright for these colors, but that's why we're going to dull everything. So I think we're going to use olive green and a pearl raspberry red and bronze. And I like the circle theme going on. So I'm just going to kind of put dots. We're going to start with red, and we're just going to kind of swirl it around with a paint. And nothing needs to be exact with this, so we're just going to kind of play around with it. And we're going to add some flowers. So I liked the flowers, and I thought that this red and green here kind of matched the flower. So that's why I chose the colors that I did. And we're just gonna kind of swirl around, and it's okay if things are blending because that's what we want. We're just gonna kind of play around with it, and we don't want to cover up all the circles, but just gonna kind of mess with it. And I might take a baby wipe and kind of take up some of this too. And I am using the same paintbrush as I go because I don't want to dirty up another paintbrush, because that's just more cleaning I have to do. Now we're going to take a baby wipe, and we're just going to kind of wipe up a little bit of this, not everything, just kind of blotting it. I want to bring back some of the interest of the tissue paper, but not all of it. There we go, just like that. I do like that a lot. Okay, everything is all dry now. So we're gonna start with this guy who's just trying to be a friend to the other guy. And I just have a piece of paper, scoot it up, that, maybe you can see it, there we go. I just have a piece of paper that I'm gonna flip my guy over and just take some Mod Podge and spread it on the backside. That way I could go all the way to the edges. I am going to leave his hand because I think the earth is gonna kind of, I don't know, dip inside the hand, I guess. I don't know. But it's gonna be a kind of a part of it. Anyway, so we're just gonna move this piece of paper. We're gonna scoot this down so you can see it, and we're going to put him all the way down at the bottom because he came out of the book, so he's got the edge here. And I'm gonna kind of crease it in the corner here. I might take an X-Acto knife and cut it so that the page bends better, but I'm not 100% sure. And we're just gonna kind of lay him down. I will put a layer of Mod Podge over him. And where's his friend? I lost him. Oh no. You ever have so much on your table you lose things? Well, I did. All right, here's his friend. I don't know if they're friends, but we're gonna call them friends. They're best friends. I doubt it. I really should have read the story before I ripped up the book, but I did not. Okay. I am so glad my dad kept all these. I wouldn't say hoarder, but just, you know, collector, I guess. I'm just really glad he kept all of them because, you know, they make great for collages. And I said, okay, you know, he offered them to me, and I said, that's great, Dad. I really, really appreciate it. I said, you know, they won't come back looking like this. He said, I got it. I said, no, they're gonna get cut up. You'll never ever have them like this. He said, that's fine. So that's really cool. Okay, so the swamp guy, he's gonna offer this planet, our planet, to his friend. All right. But I want to add, I have these flowers over here, and I got them online somewhere, not sure where, but they're stickers, and they're transparent stickers. So once you peel off the back, you'll see a lot of the background come through. So what I want to do, I'm just taking a pencil, and I am drawing where this earth is going to go. And I'm just going to kind of draw around the outside because I need to have a reference as to where the earth is going to end up so that when I put the flowers on, they're kind of in a good spot, I guess. And this just was cut out of a magazine. I'm not sure where, but so we just have, you know, pictures cut out, and you can't, oh yeah, you can kind of see the faint line. Now I didn't want it too dark because we're going to add flowers. And I'm just going to kind of add, I don't want that one. You know, just a little bit random around. So I'm going to kind of place them and see what I like. And I'm actually going to maybe, there we go. I'm going to kind of pinch that down so it's a little flatter. I am just going to kind of lay out things, see what I like. And when I get something that I'm happy with that will go around the planet, I am just going to adhere these down. Like I said, they are stickers, so they're a little fiddly to open up because you have to kind of peel between the two layers, but it'll just take a minute. So yeah, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit and get my flowers going. And yeah, then I'll be right back with you guys. Oh, you can kind of see this is what it'll kind of look like. It'll kind of look like that. Look at that. Cool. All right, let's get my flowers organized. There we go. Look at those flowers. Okay, it kind of looks really cool like that. So we're going to put the earth on and see if I need to fill in anywhere. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to put a rose over here. No, I'm going to put a bigger rose. There we go. There we go. A little bit bigger of a flower, but not too overpowering. Don't be afraid to cut these up. Like this flower had a little extra on the top that I didn't love. Don't be afraid to cut it out. And I actually like that there's a white border around these flowers because I think if it didn't have that border, they would be lost on this page. So I kind of like that for this one. Now, if you're working on something that the white border would not look good, just trim around it. Now these are little tiny to trim around and it would be not the most pleasant thing, but you know, or you could paint around the white edge too, which I think would work really well. Oh, that's better. Okay. So we've got our flowers and we're going to stick our earth down. Okay, I'm gonna, you can't see it. There we go. I'm gonna use my sheet here. It's off the edge, sorry, just a little bit. So I can get all the way to the edges of my earth. Okay. So that's kind of the down on it. I'm going to tip it just a little bit. Position it in his hand. I'm tucking his thumb underneath and I'm kind of, there we go. Oop. His thumb came out. Okay. So since we're going to do this, I am going to Mod Podge his hand. Kind of there we go. Now I'm going to seal up everything, put Mod Podge over all of this, kind of give it all a good coating. All right, so for these little guys, I'm using a Faber-Castell brush tip pin, and I'm just going to outline around this little guy here, and then I might add some other stuff on it, but I'm just going to outline. I think that's the first step in making him pop. I do like doing that. I have done the outlining on other collages. Let me see if I can show you. Like this one, I outlined the sun. You know, not everything needs to be outlined. This one, I outlined her. There we go. So it is a technique that I really like. So I will just go ahead and do that with this guy. So we have my favorite, of course I use these all the time. They are the water-soluble oil pastels from Prima Marketing. And we're just going to take, I think we're going to take the dark gray, kind of make a shadow underneath. I have a brush that's slightly damp and I'm just moving this around. We don't want to take too much off because we want the color still. And I'm just gonna kind of drag it down. I'm just taking the spare that's on my brush and just giving a tiny, tiny bit underneath the planet. I'm gonna take the gray, just the gray, and tiny shadow under the gray, or under the planet, Earth. There we go, just like that. I think a quote needs to happen down here, and I think I like the one, "Embrace beautiful chaos," and this is from Tim Holt's Small Talk. A little bit of Mod Podge on the bottom of it, and that's so it doesn't go anywhere, I guess, so that since this is going in, to Brooklyn, and lots of people will have the opportunity to open it and read it and enjoy this journal, I want to make sure that this is sticking down, and I want it over, I think, a little bit. Oops. Just putting it in the wrong spot. So I want to make sure everything is really well adhered, that nothing's going to accidentally pop up. Okay, we're done. Here's my my page here with the friends, and he's giving the earth to his friend. All right, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.